What's going on, everybody? It's Nathan Payne, or Real Estate Nate, as my new nickname I named myself. But anyway, today we're going to be talking about how to use the strategic calendar to plan out your week. It's extremely important that you plan out your weeks, your days, because you only have a limited amount of time every week and day to work, and you probably think you have more time than you really do to work. So I use this calendar every week. I'm not perfect at it, but I am trying to improve by using it. But I'm giving it to you because it's helped me a lot to stay focused and know what's important in the business. So right here's the calendar. It's an Excel spreadsheet that you guys can. I'm going to be able to give you. This is the one that I've already done, and I'm going to explain to you. I'm just showing it to you so you can see what it looks like with the black and all the different colors. I'm going to explain to you how to do it, and then it'll probably make more sense at the end of the video. But let's jump into the template. So you only have a limited amount of time to work. So the first thing we're going to do here is black out the times that you are not working. Okay, so if you're part-time, you're going to pretty much black out everything until, maybe you work from 8 to 1, and then you have the rest of the day to work. But I'm going to do my day. Okay, so I don't work. This row you don't really need. It's just a part of the calendar for some reason. And Mondays, so I'm just gonna black this out, okay, the whole thing. So to black it out, you just go to here. I don't go to work until 9 every day. I actually do work earlier, but for the sake of the calendar, I don't work till 9. And these are already put pre-planned and put in there for you. These are admin and planning tasks, but I'll explain what that is. Let's just keep going and blacking out when we do not work. I don't work on the Sabbath. I don't work on Sunday. So I'm going to black that out. I have a hard stop at 5. So I don't work after 5. I spend time with my family, my wife. Best I can. Sometimes I do work after, but I shouldn't. And then let's say we take an hour for lunch. Okay. So looking, sorry, that's the font. You want this one. So looking at this, you say, okay, hey, this many days of the week, Monday through Friday, I need a blackout Saturday. So let's do that. So you'd look at this and you'd say, Monday through Friday, I have these time slots to work, right? And taking out lunch. So how many hours a day is that? This is an hour. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and a half. That doesn't make sense. 1, maybe okay, that's why, because I pretty much 5 doesn't really count because I get off at 5. So let's see. Okay, so 4:30. That last 30 minutes is the amount of time I work. So that's 7 hours a day. 7 times 5, that's 35 hours. So what you do is you put in how many hours planned work hours. Okay, and this thing will calculate how much time it thinks you should allocate to these different aspects aspects of building a business. And then on the side, also, just so you have idea of your work hours, you can put Monday through Friday. If you drag it, it should do one. Okay, take off that, and then right here you can do 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 9 to 5, 9 to 5, 9 to 5. Right here, I'm looking and I can say quite easily, I can just look, okay, I work Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 with an hour lunch. And that gives me 35 hours in the week to work. So this is a formula. This is not what you have to do. And you don't have to prospect for 10.5 hours out of the week, and then customer relations for 8.75, and business building, strategic. This is just an idea of what you should do. If you're brand new to the business, you should definitely be prospecting way more than, customer retention and strategy and admin, just because, you need to get some deals. So what this would look like is, if you are want to according to this, if you want to prospect for 10.5 hours a week, you would fill in 10 and a half hours this week. So you could say, okay, the first thing that's really important to get done in the morning is to prospect. So you would take this, you'd copy and paste, and you say, okay, I need to prospect for an hour in the morning every day. First thing I get to work, I'm going to start prospecting. I'm not going to mess around. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 hours. Okay. This thing says you need 10. So let's say you're going to prospect all morning. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 hours. And you're going to do half an hour here. Okay. Then you'd fill in here. I have planned 10.5 hours of prospecting. Now, admin and planning, that's like planning your week. It's kind of like what I do here on my calendar. I do the creative weekly strategic planning on this calendar every Monday. Okay. So you could even put that there and be like, okay, it's going to take me an hour to do that. And later on, you're actually going to go through here and plan out what activities you're not going to do. You're just not just going to say, okay, I'm going to prospect and do sales. So for example, here would be use weekly plan week with calendar. Okay. Right there, that's 1 hour, right? And this thing says you need, according to this, 5.25. So it's 1 hour. And I know the 0.25, that's kind of hard to say what that is, break that down, but you guys get the gist. It just says you need to do that much time. This is what the calendar recommends. I also would say at the end of every day, I look over my numbers. So that's a 30 minute, that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 2.5. So that's 3.5. So it's 3.5. And to be honest, guys, before I even start work, to be real, I plan. I just say, okay, these are my numbers. And if you have a team, you're definitely going to want to plan. So let's do that too. This is what my days kind of look like. Actually, my days look completely different because, I do other things in the business. But for you guys, you could start the day off and get, plan what your goals are, recap the previous day. If you have a team, have a team meeting. So you could say team meeting, a quick one, probably shouldn't even be 30 minutes. So you go here, and this is admin and planning. So let's count this: 1 hour, 2 hours, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you're a little over, and this what this recommends, but it's totally fine. Because customer retention isn't something that I think is a good use of time yet when you're this early on in the business. So you could even get rid of this if you wanted to, or name it something else. So then you have business building. Business building could be, thinking of marketing, tactics, or, going to the county and getting data, or wherever you are in the business. Business building could be, making business cards, even though that's not that important. I'm just thinking other ways to build your business. Trying to hire people, that would be a good one. Hiring people, building out funnels and systems. That's exactly what business building is for. So it says you want to do that for, according to this, for 8.75 hours. So let's just say you want to take every Tuesday and Thursday to do business planning. And you also want to do a little bit on Monday. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 hours. Let me count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8 hours, and this thing recommends 8.75. So this is gonna change, guys, because of where you are in your businesses. Like you're probably gonna have to do more prospecting, I would say instead of customer retention, right here, you should do an extra 8.75 of prospecting if you're brand new. And I mean, you guys get the gist. And then miscellaneous are just maybe small things like maybe going to the bank and doing something. If you have to set up your LLC bank account, that's miscellaneous. So you could put that here. I'm not going to fill this whole thing out for you guys because it's pretty self-explanatory. All you do is you try to take the amount of hours that you have on that it recommends, and you plan them out according to what part of the business. Of course, like I said, this part of the business isn't that applicable right now, but it is a good way to show you guys exactly how much time you have in the week, what you should plan on, what's the most important, prospecting, getting deals. Now, instead of just finishing this and being like, okay, I'm done, you want to actually plan out what activities you're going to do for prospecting. So, for example, cold calling. Let's say that's something I want to do on Mondays. So I would do that. Cold calling. Now, let's say I'm going to start texting as a prospecting, texting. Okay. And let's say here at this time, let's say there's a RIA event, network, right? A RIA meeting is Real Estate Investing Association meeting. You should definitely go to those. So network. Let's say, what's something else? Flyer a neighborhood, for example, if you want to, knock doors and flyer. Driving for dollars, right? And let's say you even have you have a leads manager at this point, and you're not having to do too much of the prospecting. You're going to want to call your warm leads, warm, cold, whatever leads you have. And you can even get more granular with it. What I do with my team is I say, guys, how many calls do you need to make every 30 minutes? And I'll say, for them, because their job's so specific as a leads manager, I say make 10 calls every 30 minutes. And then they're just having to go to the CRM and make 10 calls. So if I'm like, hey guys, you're not hitting your goals, what's going on? I don't know why that made it bigger, but it's whatever. Let's make it. Okay. So then they're really focused and they're like, okay, I got a team meeting. I know I got to make 10 calls an hour onto the leads I have. And you actually get specific with what you're trying to do. So weekly planning, business building. You could, like I said, you could, set up new marketing campaign. Now, I don't use this. I've said this already, but I don't use this to a T over here, but it does give you an idea of where you need to spend your time to build a business. You can't spend all of it prospecting because you're going to let other things go. You can't spend all of it strategizing, planning, and business building because then won't have any leads. So let me show you a little bit of what mine looks like. So I blacked out. I get it. I black out different times for lunches, and I have meetings in the morning for the admin. I have meetings depending if I'm not doing a podcast or anything. I have to review my strategic calendar at different times. I prospect all throughout the day. If I do something, I highlight it. I make the font yellow. If I didn't get to it, I make it red. And as you can see, guys, I'm not perfect. Sometimes things come up. But this is how I use the strategic calendar. And I even go a little bit further. This is not something you guys need to do, but I use Asana, which is a project management tool that has my tasks that I need to do on it for my business. And I have different projects. And then I reference my Asana tasks and I put them into the strategic calendar so I know exactly when to do it. A lot of these platforms have calendars too, but I like using the strategic calendar. It's pretty simple. So guys, I want to stress how important it is planning out your week because, if you're part-time and let's say you only have, let's black this out. Let's say you get home from work. At 2:30. Well, and you got to be with your family at 5. So you only have this much time to work. How many hours a day is that? That's 1, 2, let's just say it's 3 hours a day, 3 times 5, 15. So then you're like, well, dang, only 15 hours a week to work. I got to use my time wisely. I can't be messing around, wasting my time. I need to prospect a lot more, and you need to change the things in here, so you know exactly how much time you're putting in. And you check this at the end of every day, like we talked about, because if you're not holding yourself accountable to your schedule, then you're going to let a lot of things slip. And the hardest thing about being an entrepreneur is managing your time, because just because you're busy doesn't mean you're using your time wisely, or you're getting anything done. My first year of investing in real estate, I literally thought I was getting a lot done because I was busy all the time, but I wasn't doing activities that were necessary and that moved the needle. So guys, in the link down here below, in the description or this area, I'm going to have a place where you can go download the strategic calendar that's in the Google Drive. Make sure you get a Google Drive so you can keep all these files and all that stuff. All you have to do, guys, one last thing I'm going to show you, because I want to make sure you don't mess this up. So one thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to the template, because this is the template everyone's going to get. So I have to erase all this and make it blank like it was. But you're going to go over here. You're not going to request like for me to share it with you. You're going to make a copy of it. So you're going to go make a copy. You're going to name it whatever you want, and you're going to go okay. And then it's going to make a copy for you to keep. Okay. So that's how you do it. Or if you don't want to make a copy of it, you can go here to download, and then you can download it as a spreadsheet, a CSV, or you can do it in Excel and put it into your drive. So it's either make a copy or download it, and you guys will be ready to rock. Again, you guys got to use your time wisely. You have to, as an entrepreneur, manage like your brain space and what you're going to focus on. All right, guys. So let's freaking get it. Let's go on to the next lesson.